Hello everyone. I faced a lot of questions regarding DevOps Resume and Cloud Resume. So in this video, I'm going to explain you about how important is the DevOps Resume and what should be its structure. I'll make you prepare your own resume with lot of confidence. So this session is going to be a little lengthy. I'll share my screen and I'll explain you each and every part of the DevOps and Cloud Resume. It's going to be very important because resume is the first step while you are attending for the DevOps and Cloud interviews. Okay, and I have one big update for you. I have some surprise to announce on coming Sunday. I'm going to contribute something very massive to the DevOps and DevOps job industry. Okay, it's going to be a small revolution kind of thing. So please watch my channel for updates, and the surprise I'll reveal it on coming Sunday. Okay, thanks for watching. Watch this video completely so that you will get better understanding on how to prepare your own resume. Let's get started. Good morning and good evening, everyone. Can someone please confirm, is my voice audible in the chat? Okay, so let us start. I hope you can see the screen as well. Are you able to see the screen? Yes, okay. So today's session is about resume preparation. So in this session, we have completed batch students as well as running batch students. Just now we have started one batch last 10 days ago. So we have all those students. So this is exclusively about resume preparation. Okay. So resume is very important, as you know, everyone, to get the calls or to get you shortlisted. So I will share you some templates and how can you prepare resume yourself. We will verify your resume whenever you send us to us, and then I will make you. So I want you to make resume on your by yourself, but I will guide you how to prepare a perfect resume. Okay, so I will share you one best resume we have. This is very simple one. Okay, so the format can be anything, or this one text format, text font can be anything, but simply I'm sharing like this. So your full name, your position, if you are a senior DevOps engineer, DevOps lead, email, and mobile number. So I want you to write like this so that it is easy to read, and if they want to call you immediately, they can easily call you. I'm recording this session. I will share to you as well. Okay, so this is the career objective, right? First anywhere. So you can simply copy this from Google, or you can write by yourself. If you want to write by yourself, I will tell you the text how it should be. So you are working in a DevOps and cloud environment from last 3 or 4 years at least. So if you see here, it is actually it's a copied one. It's okay. No one cares about this career objective. You can simply copy and paste whatever it is. So, but I write this here by myself. Effective team player in developing, managing projects to be an asset to the full organization. So in this place, you can write yourself as effectively participate in automating the deployment process of all the applications from dev to prod, as well as infrastructure. So this is the career objective you can write simply, or if you copy it from the Google also, there is no problem, because no one cares about this career objective. Every HR or technical manager cares about is this first and second page. Okay, no one comes down to the third and fourth page. They don't see what you do in the projects. Okay, at least I see only the first and 2 pages. So here, if you see the professional summary, it should be in the first page. So here there are some points. I'm highlighting all those tool names using bold, right? So in our DevOps classes, the latest batch from last 1 week, you learned about Linux administration, right? You have intermediate knowledge now if you have practiced very well. So all of you has practiced Linux administration. So let us take 5 minutes and please write in the chat what you learned in this 1 week. If you want to tell us in 2 lines. Okay, so take 5 minutes. Now it is 7:08. So take 5 minutes up to 7:13 and write yourself what you learned in last or at least first 1 week of sessions. Okay, write it in 2 lines. It should cover Linux administration. So if I see your 2 lines, I need to understand that you know Linux administration and you have Linux administration intermediate knowledge. So time start now. Please write in your notepad and just paste it into the chat. So my efforts are, you have to prepare your own resume. Each and every word you should understand 100%. When someone see your resume and if they ask you the questions by seeing your resume, you should answer it very well. So that is my effort. That is my that's why I'm spending these efforts to make you to prepare your own resume. So please write in 2 lines. And later I will go to the next topics. User management, process management. Okay, that's very simple. I just want to write in at least one or elaboratively in 1 or 2 lines. Okay, so process management commands, package management commands, networking commands. Okay. System management commands, process management commands, user management commands. How to install packages from web using repo files. Fine. Take time for 5 minutes. So you have practiced at least 6 sessions, right? 6 into 9 hours. So 9 hours you learn something. I want you to write in at least 2 lines, not a simple 1 line, not like that. And then let us phrase that. How can we put that in our resume? Two more minutes. Let us phrase this. So as everybody said, so we have learned user management, package management, service management, process management, network management, editors we learned, right? Editors and what else? Okay. So these are the Linux administration actually. And then we know how to provision server in AWS cloud. Okay. So now you know how to provision server in AWS cloud, applying security groups. And you know, checking logs, right? So all these things you learned in first 1 week. Now let us phrase this: experience in provisioning Linux servers in cloud environment and setting security groups. So this can be one line. And experience in Linux administration, such as user management, or else we can say user, package, process, service, network, and disk management. Disk management, and then verifying the log files or troubleshooting log files. So this is one thing. And you know editors, right? Experience in using Linux editors like VIM, and then VI. SCD you will learn. So the latest batch you will learn slowly, but completed batches, you know the editors already, etc. So these 3 points is covering everything in Linux, what a DevOps engineer should know or should learn. Okay. Now, if I need to keep this in a proper format, so Google Docs. Professional summary or experience summary. This is heading. Can apply a simple color and bold this. Okay. And here simply mention bullets, copy one by one. So you can use nice text like, I don't know. So like this. Now you need to bold this. Linux administration and then VIM VID. So it is covering everything in Linux. So I highly recommend every week you remember what are the topics we discussed and what are the topics you practiced, and try to keep them in 2 or 3 lines. So resume preparation is not a simple thing like half an hour, 1 hour thing. It's a very important. You need to understand each and every word what you mention in the resume. So I highly recommend, even if I need to prepare a resume, for example, recently I prepared a resume for H1B and one of the visa in Singapore. I spent at least 2 to 3 days, daily 4 hours. So I need to go each and every word. I need to carefully write it. I need to check the dictionary, and then so everything automatically we are getting dictionary. So I need to do this very carefully. So if you see this resume also, somewhere we have mentioned Linux or not mentioned is also fine. Maybe here it is not mentioned. Okay, here in roles, project roles and responsibility, it is mentioned, but I highly recommend you to mention in this professional summary. So first start with Linux. So the course we are teaching is a serial thing. So first we will discuss Linux, next we will discuss 3-tier architecture. I hope 3-tier architecture is already started for the latest batch. So now if I need to write something about 3-tier architecture, can someone take 2 minutes time and write what you learned in 3-tier architecture? Time starts now in the chat. Please write about 3-tier architecture, what you learned in our sessions. Take 2 minutes time. Forward and reverse proxy, very nice. Web server, we have learned web server, app server, database, proxy, reverse proxy. We have web server, app server, database, application server connection, coordination between different servers. Okay, reverse and forward proxy. We have one web server. Okay. Consists of web server, application, first proxy, and gives the information to the client. Okay. Install web server. Fine. Okay. So that's nice. Now let us phrase this, what you learned. So, 3-tier architecture is about for the web applications. In the world, 99% applications are web applications. If they are even Android apps or everything, so we need to deploy as a web application. So let us just discuss simple. So I'm sure everyone learned in this way. There is a web server. There is an application server, and there is a database. So web server need to connect with application server, and application server need to connect with database server. Right? And in between, we have a load balancer. Okay. So this is the way. So if you take any project, even Facebook, Amazon, or a simple silly project, every project should follow this. So I'm getting a lot of questions about what about the project, what about the project. So DevOps, as a DevOps engineer, we don't care about what project the developers are working for. We want them to develop the applications in this architecture. whether they work for a startup project or they work for a Google or ChatGPT, whatever it is. So we don't care. All things we care about is whether they are following the three-tier architecture or not. So here load balancer is there. If it is on-premise, this is like HA proxy, or if it is AWS, we use application load balancer. Web, we use React.js applications or AngularJS applications, something related to JavaScript, HTML, and CSS, right? So these are the front-end technologies. It can be any JS, HTML, and CSS. Back-end technologies are like Java, .NET, Python, Node.js we can use, or Go language. It can be anything. And databases are like MySQL, MS SQL, or Postgres. So anything. So MongoDB is also database. That's a NoSQL database. So these are the databases. So any application stores its data in this database. What this app server will do is app server runs an SQL queries against databases. And basically those SQL queries are CRUD operations. If you are registering into our Facebook application, this application will run insert query. Insert into users where name equal to Siva and then password something, it will run this insert query. If you want to update something about your email ID something, it will run update query. And if you want to delete your account, it will run delete. And if you are login and reading your posts, everything, then it will run select query. So any web application in this world runs these queries to fetch the results, to create, to update, or delete. Okay, so that responsibility is from the app server. Whatever the user action in the web, suppose you open facebook.com and here you log in, like you are using your login and password using the email and those things. This web application will get those data and it will send that data to the application server, and application server phrase that SQL query and run against database. So this is what happens everywhere. So this web sometimes can be Android or iOS also, right? So basically front-end applications. It can be web or apps, mobile apps. Okay, these apps or front-end applications are for grasping the user data and send it to the application server. Then application server connects to the database and show the results. So this is the intention. Okay. So web server should not connect to the database directly. So you should block that. So in this DB, you need to apply a security group that only application server should access this. So this is the security we will mention. And in load balancer, we will open the 80 or 443 ports to the world. And this web server also, you don't open it. Only the open to the world is load balancer. Okay, so this is the three-tier architecture. Now, if you need to write something about this experience in designing the three-tier architecture for applications, configured web app DB and load balancers in a secured way. So in this process, we use Nginx, right? Experience in configuring Nginx as reverse proxy to the application server. Configure application server to access DB in a secure way. So forward and reverse proxy are very important for a DevOps engineer. So you know how to configure a reverse proxy for a web application. So these 2 points are very important, right? So now we will put these points in our resume. So highlight this Nginx and then Twitter architecture. So whenever I open and see the resume, so I no one reads your resume at a time before starting the interview. So, or even HRs, when they are filtering your resume, they will see all the keywords, what they want in their project or exist in your resume or not. So obviously DevOps engineer needs Linux administration knowledge, editors, threaded architecture, Nginx as reverse proxy. So when they're doing some filtration, so they will check all these keywords are mentioned, and if your resume matches, then they will open your profile and immediately they can see these lines, and they can very well understand that you already work and you have a good experience in these topics. Okay, so now let us write something about shell scripting. So maybe the recent batch haven't started for shell scripting, but it's okay. So let us take 2 minutes time, and please write in the chat what you learned in shell scripting. Time starts now. Take 2 minutes and just write what you learned in shell scripting. Bash scripts used for automation and provisioning servers. We write the steps in shell scripts, redirect as cd. Okay, printing variables, functions, conditions, expressions. In shell script, we can install and configure servers. Okay, it will reduce our valuable time. Fine. About cron tab. Okay, fine. Now different microservice principle and export to log file scheduling the jobs. Okay. Conditions, expressions, functions, variables, special variables. Fine. Okay. So fine. So now let us discuss what is shell scripting, right? So any scripting or any programming language, these principles are same. First is variables, and second data types, and conditions, loops, functions. Take any programming language, any scripting language, everything is based on this. Okay, so if I give you a requirement, for example, I need a project for my business. Generally, let's think about programming. So I'm a client to you. I have one business. I want you to develop an application for my business. So as a user, business user, I don't care what is the programming language you are using. Okay, I don't care what is the programming language you are using. All I need is I should be able to use that application in a better way. So it should not go down. It should not take too much memory. It should not take too much power consumption. So all I need is application should work properly, right? App should work secure, and then less memory. It should use less memory. So these things are enough. Less cost. So when it is less cost, everyone goes for open source programming languages. And these and companies, I don't care what they use. So these things I need. So any programming language, the concepts are same: variables, data types, conditions, loops, and functions. Only the syntax may change. You first think if you need to develop a sign up page. Okay, so sign up page, if you do it in Java, if you do it in Python, if you do it in uh, .NET, anything, it will work the same, right? So please understand, these things are common in any scripting or programming language. We don't require any programming language, but the concepts are still same. Okay, we are not going to do any database queries. We are not going to do any database transactions, session management, all those things we are not doing. But still, in scripting also, the concepts are same. So in shell scripting, we create variables and data types. In any language, we have integer, float, double, and string. So few programming languages or scripting languages, based on the value, it will automatically take it the data types. Okay, conditions, if condition, if whatever the expression you are giving here, if it is true, then these lines will run. Okay, so I'm not following any scripting. I'm just writing in a simple way. Okay, these lines, else these lines. So these things, that doesn't matter. You should know first what you have to automate through the scripting. Conditions, loops, anything, you can simply copy it from the internet and you can able to do it. So first thing, be clear what you need to do. For example, in our sessions, we are doing server configuration, right? So first thing, we are doing downloading Tomcat or Nginx, downloading everything we should download. Or install. Okay, downloading or install. So you should write these things first. It's called as an algorithm. So you should be clear on algorithm. You no need to think about what is the scripting language, what is the syntax I need to do. Don't think all those things. First, write in a simple general language what you have to do. Then you need to configure. So each and every step, in shell scripting, exit status is very important. So before you running the next command, you should know what happened to the previous command. If it is success, then only you can run the next command. If it is failure, you need to stop the script. Okay, so these are the concepts you have in your mind and you practiced very well. So if you write it in a way about lines about shell scripting, experience in writing shell scripts to configure and baseline the servers with the default configurations. Okay, configure cron tab to schedule the jobs. This is a thing you do in shell scripting. And if you want to write in another line, experience in creating sorry. So experience in creating shell scripts with functions, variables, conditions, and checking the exit status, redirecting the output to log files. These 2 points, right? So the same thing we learned here. Just pull this shell script and run tab. Okay, so these 2 lines are enough. Yeah, second point is not required actually because it's a very general. This one is not required. There is no experience in redirecting out log files. Okay, let us phrase this. There are some monitoring tasks, right? Checking the memory of the servers, and you can write shell scripts to export the metrics to the monitoring servers. All those things you can write. So we can mention here redirecting the output to log files for auditing purpose, something. Okay, don't worry too much about the sentences. We can always improve. Okay, but basically I want to make you confident about writing your own resume and getting the self-confidence. So now let us take some questions. Please raise your hand if you have some question. No one have questions? Okay, Srihari, yes.
Hi, good evening, Siva.
Can you speak?
Yeah. Hello.
1 second.
Hello, Siva. Am I audible?
Yeah, not able to listen your voice.
Hello.
Krishna Reddy, can you speak?
Yeah, sure. I can able to hear, Srihari voice. Probably your side having issue.
Sorry, I'm not getting the
Able to
voice.
hear my voice at least?
Shiva, am I audible now? Hello.
Okay, let me remove our microphone. Okay, can you speak now? So, Srihari or Krishna?
Yeah. Hi, Shiva. Able
Yeah,
to hear
hi.
me?
Yes, yes.
This is when a simple general question only. I have a meeting in next few minutes. How long the session will go?
Just maybe 15-20 minutes more. Anyhow, I'm recording this.
Yeah, sure. Thank you, sure.
Yeah. So Srihari, you have some question?
Yeah, good evening, Shiva. Am I audible now?
Yeah, you're audible.
Oh, sure. Thanks. I have a general question. Don't mind if I'm wrong.
Yeah, no problem.
I think the DevOps, do we have any experience level like beginner, intermediate, and experienced persons like that, right?
Yeah, you can mention DevOps engineer, senior DevOps engineer, DevOps lead, DevOps architect.
Okay. So kindly please differentiate what do they expect between the beginner and the experienced person, because I do have some colleagues with me offshore, because they, like you, they are working on somewhere else, but
Okay.
they often mention that what the beginner do, I mean the work what the beginners are doing, having a 10 lakh salary, even the senior person is also doing the same with 35 lakhs of salary.
Okay.
Okay, so
Yeah.
yeah, I'm not judging someone's integrity here, but what type of interview does it varies between in the beginner and the experienced candidate?
Okay. So it's not about the DevOps. Any technology, right? Every technology will have a fresher, junior, senior, team leader, architecture. So senior architect, executive director. So these kind of levels are there in any technology, right? So if you join as a fresher today, then only you can get experience. You cannot get the experience directly, right? So maybe you are working on one technology now and immediately you transfer to another technology. So a senior engineer knows what a junior engineer is doing because he comes from that level. But senior engineer can take some decisions, how the flow should be, how to configure for example, we need to configure Jenkins in a secured way, in an automated way. Maybe senior will take that task and he can do it. And then junior engineer will use the Jenkins, or junior engineer can maintain the pipelines. Junior engineer can update the pipelines. Seniors can create the task. Juniors can follow the task. It's for any technology. And leaders, architects, they can design how the overall architecture should be. Where should be the Jenkins? Where should be the Sonar Cube, subnetting, web VPC? All those things they will understand very well.
Okay.
So there is no hard line. So even junior engineer can go to that architect level if he is very talented and smart way. So in a smart guy, right? So there is no restriction. This is just a positioning from the companies based on your experience level. If you know the knowledge very well, then you know some startup companies, 2-3 years persons, they may be doing everything independently.
Okay.
Yeah, but in the average MNC company, this is the way they follow. Seniors will create, juniors will follow and update.
Okay. I'm a bit late to this meeting. Can you show some of the examples of the job openings that you have posted? Someone, not just you.
I haven't posted now.
Okay.
We have created a channel recently and we are thinking to migrate from Slack to the GitHub. So there we have better way to share and connect with everyone. Okay, so we discussed today. Soon we will migrate to the GitHub and then everyone of us can collaborate and then we can share you the updates very well. Okay, so recently I posted also, but no one care about it.
Did you post it in the DevOps group?
Yeah, in channel DevOps.com, I posted. We have opening for Langco Technologies. Experience is 5 years. 1 month notice period is more preferred. Please reply. But this, because we are getting lot of questions, right?
Okay.
So maybe this is ignored. So I created a channel interview QA recently, but I need to invite them everyone again manually. So this is a painful for us. So we thought of migrating to the GitHub. So there we can effectively share with you about the openings. So if you are ready, so you have practiced very well and you did everything with your own hand, then we will do a mock interview sessions like a HR person from our side will connect with you. They will send an email to share your profile. You share the profile to them, then they will check your profile. They will call you, and they will ask your details, like how a typical HR will ask questions: your name, PAN card number, something like do you have PF account. All these things they will ask. What is the current experience, relevant experience? Tell me about yourself. All these things they will ask. Then they will schedule an interview, technical round one, and someone from our team will call you. They will ask you a few questions, video meeting, and they will give the feedback to HR. Then HR will discuss the feedback to you. So all this process we are going to initiate soon.
Okay, fine.
So
Yeah.
we want from you is you should practice daily and you should focus on what you are learning. So
And one more thing,
frankly,
Shiva.
yes.
Yeah. One more thing. I've seen so many of syllabus curriculums like yours. Some from the away, as from the offline. I think it's a pretty good outline. What you're teaching now. How
Yes.
confident that we can put that experience. I mean, with that curriculum, what you're teaching today.
Yeah.
If we are 100% up to the mark, I mean, as a candidate, if I'm 100% practically proven that I'm fit to this coding and everything, I mean, scripting and everything, how much of experience does it matter to me? Like 2, 3?
See, actually, we are covering from low to, you have seen, right? From
Yeah,
very
yeah.
basic to advanced level, we are covering everything. So no one does this completely in a project, frankly. Suppose if you join a DevOps engineer, you don't do all these things. A single person cannot do provisioning servers, writing shell scripts, configuring pipelines, doing monitoring, and Terraform, Docker, Kubernetes, setting up all these things. A single person will not do practically. Teaching you because we don't know which work they will give it to you.
Yeah, that's correct.
If they
That's
hand
right.
over, if they hand over you a Jenkins pipeline task, but being everything else in the DevOps or cloud, you can easily give suggestions to your team when you are conducting meetings with development team and management. So your confidence, right? Your confidence of you practiced Terraform, infrastructure provisioning, everything that gives you so much confidence, and your management also can trust you very well. So your team leader, they can they may like you.
Yeah.
Because you have good knowledge, you know each and everything in DevOps. You can troubleshoot, you can guide, you can teach the developers, you can teach junior engineers. So it's a minimum 3 years level. If you practice 50% of what are the things we are teaching, so you can get at least 3 years experience. Suppose if you have 10 years of experience in automation testing, if you practice our training 100%, then you can expose yourself as DevOps leader, DevOps team lead. Because ideally a team lead, he should know what is happening in the low level. He should know what a junior engineer is doing, what a senior engineer is doing. Obviously, we are learning everything here. And you, in this 10 years of career, you got some leadership skills, right? How to speak with management, how to speak within the team, how to deal others, all those things, plus whatever we are teaching and you are learning here. If you mix those two in a smart way, you can easily become a DevOps leader.
Yeah.
Okay. So with 10 years experience, you cannot say, I just learned DevOps recently, I can work as junior engineer. No, it will not work.
Yeah.
So you have the leadership qualities, you have the management skills, and you know how to deal others. You learned DevOps from the scratch. You are confident, so you can guide others to do. So you can easily become DevOps team lead. Maybe first 3-4 months you will struggle, but definitely you can better yourself.
Okay. And how is this market today as of now? Because
maybe due to some recession, it may be slow, but once the recession is over, there will be more jobs. So by the time you are good.
Okay.
So then if a single job opening, you can easily get into that. Because once the recession is over, every company will send you a lot of openings. So there is a high chance you will be recruited.
Okay.
If you wait until the recession is over, then you need to spend again 3-4 months. By the time there will be a lot of competition into the market.
Yeah, that's obviously correct. Yeah. Fine. Yeah, that's all for now. Thanks.
Yes. So Today's session is about making yourself how to write whatever you are learning. I'm not going to tell you about the complete resume. So the completed batch students like D69, and you can prepare your resume and send it to us. We can verify and then correct you. And I will also try to give you a format. But why I'm not giving the straightforward resumes to you is because we have a lot of students. Everyone put the same profile into Naukri, then your profiles are all duplicated. So, but if you write in your own way, then it is not obviously duplicated with others. You may write shell scripting at the end. Someone will write Linux administration at the end. So like that. So you prepare the resume, just write it in this way. You can refer, I will send you many profiles. You can refer those profiles, but don't keep the same sentence. You can change it in a dictionary. Suppose instead of baseline, you can use different word. Instead of redirecting, you can use different word. Meaning should be the same, but sentence can be different. Okay, so try in that way. Don't take resume preparation is a silly task. It's a difficult task than you learn DevOps, because whatever you learned, whatever you practiced in 3 to 6 months, you need to keep it in a few pages. So that should be effective. So this is the first page, professional summary. Okay, so one by one, you can write, and then after a few weeks, definitely I will discuss about the complete resume. And you will write it. This table is very important. So when they see your first page, then they will scroll down to the second page, and they will see what are the operating systems you are comfortable, source code management, Git, GitLab, Bitbucket, GitHub. This is very important. So obviously we are covering all these things, right? Jenkins, Ansible, Terraform, Nagios is old tool. You can remove that and you can have ELK, Prometheus, and New Relic. And cloud, you can use AWS. And you can write one more line, infrastructure as a code, Terraform. And we are programming languages. If you mention Java, J2EE, doesn't mean you know how to write Java code. It means you know how to configure a Java application. Okay. And you can write React.js. It means you know how to configure a Java application. It doesn't mean you know how Java development. And scanning tools like Sonar, Container, Docker, and this one maybe I'm not sure. And this one, container orchestration, Kubernetes, OpenShift. OpenShift is 99% same as Kubernetes, but it's okay. You can mention Kubernetes and EKS. No, everybody is using EKS, right? So what else? Infrastructure as a code is missing in this. You can create a new line and write it. Okay, so that is the second page. You mention your work experience with months and dates, and project one. So this is like nobody, maximum 10 to 20% of people come to this level, because frankly, project is not important in DevOps. Any project you does the same thing, right? Okay, so any project you does the same kind of workflows, same kind of architecture, same setup. It's okay if you copy these lines and put it in a different way here. Okay, so for example, interacting with support teams to understand client and deployment requests. So obviously in real time, we discuss with development teams, right? So we often conduct meeting with the developers, and then we understand their requirements. We set up the pipelines with them. We test the pipelines with them. All those things you can mention. So what you do in a real project here. This is also same as the above thing, okay? But in a detailed way, like you will write here. There you will write, I have experience in creating Jenkins CI/CD pipelines with Jenkins shared library, and you will write it here. I created a CI/CD pipeline with all the build tools, containers, and scanning tool. All those things you will write it here. So basically, whatever you mention in first page, you also mention in this projects in a simple. You can name any project. You can write Tata Steel. You can write any project here. Nobody cares what project you are working for, because you are not a developer to explain the business, what is Tata Steel doing. So even you work for bank, you work for retail sector, you does the same thing in DevOps. So what you care is what application I should deploy. If it is Java, where should I deploy? AWS or on-premise or Kubernetes? You care about those things. You don't care about the project. Okay, so now let's take a question from G2. You can unmute and ask.
Hi, Shiva.
Yeah, hi.
Sorry, hi. I don't know whether I was audible or not. Yeah, Shiva, I think I've written in chat as well my situation. And since I've got quite a few years of gap, I don't know how to project myself. And I know, I think I've written perfectly in chat.
Yes. You can, based on the confidence you have, I'm sure you know how to manage the people, right? Your team.
Yeah.
Maybe you are working as team leader in technology. So as I said already, you know the leadership skills, you know the management skills. If you practice whatever we are teaching in DevOps 100%, or if you practice more times, then definitely you'll get the confidence to tell as a DevOps lead or at least senior DevOps engineer.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. But this DevOps is there from 2015 or something like that, right? Does that make sense if I say I've got so many years?
Yeah, it's fine. It's fine because new technologies are coming up into the market. Someone should lead it. Someone should lead them. See, whether it's a new technology or even if it's a data science, in my opinion, there are 4 pillars to software. One is operating system, and the second one is networking, and the third one is programming language, and the fourth one is storage part. So you name any technology. So that technology is depending on these 4 things, right? So you take AWS cloud infrastructure, but underlying it they are all the VMs.
Okay.
So AWS have some physical hardware and they created some virtualization on top of it, and they write some web applications. So everything is using virtualization, operating systems, and networking. So even DevOps, if you take, so what we are doing here, we are installing few tools and we are connecting one server to another server. For example, SonarQube is in different server, Jenkins is in different server. We are setting up the networking, we are installing the tools. So that's what we are doing, right?
Yeah.
So any new technology coming up in the market, dependent on these 4 concepts: operating systems, networking, programming, and storage. The programming is for developers, remaining are all for other guys like us. So it's okay. Based on your confidence, you can try to.
I can depend on them, and you'll be there to guide us anyway, right?
Yes. So I'll take
whenever you need.
upcoming sessions from interview guidance. So I want you to focus on the practice, okay? Maybe sometimes you may not understand what our trainer is teaching, but definitely you need to practice it again and again. So there is a gap. So I know many trainings outside in the market, 99%. So they teach 45 hours, 50 hours, and they tell DevOps is simple. And they tell something and they say, okay, DevOps is completed, you can try in the market. Then you put profile into the Naukri and you are not able to clear the interviews. Then you understand after 2-3 months, okay, this knowledge is not enough. This is a very basic. I'm not able to get the job. Again, you will not get. So 6 months is over. You lost money, you lost time, you lost confidence. Money doesn't matter. Once time and confidence is lost, then it is very difficult to get back.
Yeah, right.
So if you want to join another training, obviously your heart will not accept, right? So I already spent some amount there. Why should I join again another training? And you don't know how that training is there. If it is same like earlier, then again your confidence level will go low. So ours
you are
is
exactly
explaining. Yeah.
You're exactly explaining the situation I was in.
Yes.
I was quite confused whether, after having taken SAP HANA and all that, and went through exams like groups and all that. I was quite confused whether I should go for this or not. You really explained the situation that I was in. But after looking at them and after going through your videos on the YouTube, and that gave me a little confidence to go and take a step forward.
Yeah. So I'm sure every teaching institute will say like, we will teach 100%, we will teach real time, we will teach from practically, but you don't know until they complete the training, right? But I am sure, at least from our side, we have already completed batch, running batch, latest batch students are all here. I'm sure it is not as simple like what, maybe we have some students who join with Nana as well. So Nana is a world famous for DevOps. So even there also, they got a recording videos and they are doing some dummy projects. So if you do some simple dummy and hello world project, there is no use. You cannot expose yourself as a 3 years engineer. So definitely our trainings are very advanced. We will take you from basic to advanced level. You will go into the stage like you may not be following, you may not be understanding, but definitely if you practice 2 or 3 times, you will definitely gain the confidence. This will make you get job in DevOps.
Sure.
So every week I want you to focus more, at least spend 3 to 4 hours. If you are free, spend 8 hours. If you spend 12 hours also, that is good, and write every week what you learned in like this, whatever I explain now. Then your profile will be perfect. Then you will be ready for mock interviews. We will conduct same, like 100% same as outside interviews, and we will give you some live interview recordings, so you can understand how the actual interviews are going on. Then you face the interview. In 1 or 2 interviews, you can definitely crack the job.
Sure. Thank you, Shiva.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah. So as I said, we are teaching all these things, and these are the complete. This is the complete knowledge in DevOps and AWS. If you practice 100%, then definitely no one will stop you. So that's all from my side, and let us take the questions. Okay, so I will lower all your hands now, because I'm thinking I answered all your questions in a general way, but I'm lower your all hands now. You still have question, you can ask, you can raise your hand again. Yeah, Anu.
Yes, Shiva. So I come from a different technology altogether.
Okay.
WebSphere and MQ admin.
Okay.
So how do I justify my migration to DevOps and AWS is my question first, and the second one is searching for job internally in the organization would be a suggestible one, or externally would be the good bit right now.
Yeah, so if you have a chance to search internally inside your organization, that's good, right? Anyhow, that's a good. You will not have so much pressure to search outside. So you can anyway, all organizations want their employees to upgrade their skill. So you can confidently update your organization. I recently learned DevOps and AWS. You can interview me and you can take us into the new projects. So this is a part of career upgrade. So every organization encourages their employees to do cross trainings, to do some certifications. You are, without forcing, you are doing on your own. They will happily take you into the DevOps project. You work there for at least 6 months. Then you can start for searching another companies if you want package hike. Okay. And if you are searching directly outside, you can say from last 3 years, you are working as a DevOps engineer. Suppose your work experience is 5 years. You can say first 2 years I worked as WebSphere. As part of career upgrade, my organization wanted me to learn DevOps. So I learned DevOps and cloud, and I'm working in a DevOps project from last 3 years. Because if there is a opening outside, if the experience is 3 to 4 years relevant experience in DevOps, if you go to them and say, okay, I recently learned DevOps to 3 to 4 years level through some institute or through some online training, please consider me my profile, then definitely they will not take you, right? So we need to bluff a little. So obviously we are learning in not in a fresher level. We are learning in an advanced experience level. So you need to tell like this.
So, and another question that I have, will this course that you are teaching right now will be useful for service-based industry or product-based companies?
Any industry, the service-based, even if it is service-based, you work for a project, right? For example, you join TCS and you are working for SBI. You are like a SBI contract employee working for SBI product.
Yeah, I got that, but anyway, in service industry, the pressure and the nature of work is different, and the product-based, it is the nature of work is different, right? So that
No,
is
we cannot generalize it. It is based on the project. It is based on the management. It is based on the others also. Suppose we are doing many automations in DevOps. If someone is not following in your team and your team is not following the DevOps best standards, obviously the pressure on your entire team is more. If the management is leading properly, then so I trust if you are working more than your office hours, then definitely there is something wrong in your project. Maybe you need to find the loopholes and you need to automate it. So either service-based and project-based, we cannot generalize it. It is purely based on the mentors, your team leaders, your management, and individual skill set. It's not only for DevOps, any technology. So I never worked more than my office hours.
Yeah, thanks, Shiva. Is there a scope for a one-on-one, Shiva? If
that when you are ready, right? When you are ready with practice, then we will. The mock interviews are obviously one-on-one.
Sure. Thank you, Shiva.
Yeah. Srinivas, you have some question?
Hi Shiva. Just I want to know the interview questionnaire preparation. For example, that we are learning some of the key things: proxy, reverse proxy, and forward proxy.
Yeah.
The trainer which has given that it's the own notes we have been preparing. Some of the things we have been lacking on the exact content. Is there any way that you can give some kind of rough notes?
Sure. So we will. I will open a new discussion in a GitHub soon, and there I will post all the questions, and I will post the questions really asked in interviews, topic by topic. Okay. So the thing is, you know the concept well, but maybe you may lack how to tell it in a interview in a crispy way, right?
Correct.
So I will address this gap soon.
And thank you, Shiva.
Yeah.
And as you said, for the presenting ourselves in the experiencing. So suppose I'm in a database administrator, storage administrator, in the designation has been given for us for how to overcome that kind of and when we presenting in interview as a DevOps engineer, as you said, the total of 5 years experience. 2 years of experience as database administrator or storage administrator, and rest other 3 years experience as a DevOps engineer. But the designation which has given the company as a storage administrator, they're like that. So how can we overcome, and what are the questions that we need to tell to them?
So anyhow, you cannot change your designation, right? You may request for change if they are not changing your designation. So some companies, they don't reflect technology in your position. For example, TCS, the positions are like assistant system engineer training, assistant system engineer, senior system engineer, consultant, associate. So the position is different from the technology. It is not, it is never reflect. Some companies, they will give you the positions with your technology, like database administrator, Linux administrator. If you have that problem, so definitely you can ask for a change. If they are not able to change in your HR interviews and in your technical interviews, you can simply say, I'm working as DevOps engineer. They will not ask you for the proof, right? And when you are, when you complete the interview and finally, if you are filling the form, there, if you have some position as something reflecting your technology, keep it the same. Nobody cares because it goes to the BGV. So BGV, they verify your company, your name, your start date, and your salary and your position. They don't care. You are working as a DevOps engineer. BGV team, they don't care, right? So they don't come to you. They don't come to the HR and say,
Right.
so they don't ask actually whether this guy is recruited for DevOps or not. So no one will verify what technology you worked in your previous company. No one will verify. No one will have that rights also.
Okay, that it's a kind of means that sometimes, as you said, it is true. We can manage in that kind of situation. We need to tell to in a different direction like that.
Yes, yes.
Mm.
So you can say I'm working as DevOps engineer, but they didn't change my position from last 3 years. That's
Last 3 years, yes, that's And in total 10 years, and in this oral training, how many years relevant experience that we can keep?
Yeah, minimum 3 years, because we are doing very advanced level. That covers minimum 3 years, even if you practice 50% of our training. So we know, I have a lot of friends in Singapore also. They didn't complete the training, but they got 3 or 4 offers with 50% practice minimum. So at least 3 years experience you can expect, and the maximum, there is no limit.
Okay, that's fine. So we need to tell that our total experience is 10 and the relevant is 4 years like that. Yeah.
Yes, you can. Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you. Okay. So next, Ramesh, you have some question?
Yes, hi, Siva. Hello?
Yes, yes,
Siva, am I
please.
audible?
Yeah.
Yeah, Siva, in the resume preparation, I used one point, redirecting the output to log files for auditing purposes. This one will configure from the developers, or we have to configure to save the log file?
The log files, even it, for example, you are running a job, you schedule it, and today night you schedule, and tomorrow when you come to see, there are some alerts. So you want to know what happened to that, right? So we always redirect the log file output to the log files to check what happened.
Okay. This one we will learn in this training.
Yeah, so there are some redirections also discussed. You are the latest person.
Yes,
I think, 371.
Yes, sir.
Okay, it is yet to start. You will learn, no problem.
Okay, and the pipelines also.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Thank you, sir.
Yeah. Keshava, you have some question?
Yeah, hi Shiva.
Yeah, hi.
Yeah, and small general question. And suppose if I am a fresher and I learned 100% of this training, so how can we check this resume?
Okay, so
how can we write resume?
Yeah, even fresher also you can write the same thing.
Okay, same thing.
Freshers, MNC, mostly they don't recruit freshers directly. They always recruit through the colleges, mostly. If they have too many openings, if they got too many projects, then they may consider taking the freshers. But medium and startup companies, they can select freshers. Okay, all they care is resume. If they like your resume, then they will call for interview. Even if you say 1 year experience, explain the same thing, whatever you learned in the training, then definitely they will surprise. They will wonder how you learned all these things with 1 year or a simple training. Then there are high chance, right? They will definitely recruit you. That's what they want, right? Person with less experience doing more work is preferred.
Yes, correct. So
yeah,
suppose if 8 years gap after the education, so
yeah, obviously you need to put some experience. So that anyhow we will discuss later.
Okay, fine.
Okay. Yeah, I hope I discussed many times in separate session for non-IT and having career gap. So
Yes.
that's the usual solution everybody is following. No need to discuss in public. So you have that way. You can try it.
Okay, got it. Thank you, Shiva.
Yeah. And Sushma, you have some question?
Hi, good evening and congratulations on your new website.
Oh, thank you.
Yes, it was very good and it was very promising to go through the website because I went through, you have posted on your status. So I went to the
Yes.
website and it was very promising.
Yes.
It was
yes.
very good than the present one.
Yeah.
Yes, and congratulations on that. My question was like you have mentioned in the clouds like AWS and also Google Cloud. So we are learning only AWS right here.
No, that was actually I copied to someone else. They know Google Cloud also.
Okay. Okay, and also you mentioned about the interview preparation videos, like the live interview preparation videos. So
Yes.
where and how can we access those?
I will send it to you. So personally, we will send it to you. So we will
Okay,
keep it in a drive and we will share access.
okay. So
The
when can we?
confidential information will be removed. Confidential information will be removed, and then
Oh,
you will know what is the question asked and what is the answer they did,
how we
and you
should
can use.
portray ourselves.
Yeah.
Okay, fine. Those were the questions, and
Yes.
congrats. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Prashant, you have some question?
Hey Shiva, hi. Good evening.
Yeah.
Yeah, mostly all my questions have been answered.
Yes.
Just like I'm into I have been in your side of recruiting for the past 5 years. So I
Okay.
know like these background check and verifying and these things resume. I'm well aware of it. So
Oh, yeah.
domestic, I'm not that aware. Like I'm from India. So
Okay.
that I want to discuss with you, and now I haven't been. So it's been discussed earlier.
Okay. Thank you. So you worked as a BJP guy in India?
But not in India and US. Like I have been in US IT recruit for the past 5 years.
Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah, that's nice.
So I know that how it works, but learning a technology, like I said, new for me. So I've been keeping my effort.
Yeah.
Thank you. Like
Okay.
sessions are
Thank you,
very.
Prashant. Yeah, thank you. See you. Kish, you have some question? You can unmute.
Yeah, sure. You were mentioning that we have one-on-one with HR and mock interview. Is that part of the training, or we need to pay extra amount for that?
No need to pay extra. It's part of the training. So
Yeah.
the prerequisite for that is you need to be confident on our training. At least you should have practiced whatever we taught. That's it.
Yeah, sure. Thank you.
Next, Madhavi, you have some question?
Yeah, hi Shiva.
Yeah, hi.
Yeah, I'm completely from a non-IT background. So I'm just
Okay.
taking this course. How well this course goes well for the non-IT candidates? I mean, they can cope up with this course. I mean, we don't have any basics priorly from the IT industry, right? So with this course, can we go for the interviews? And even if you enter into the industry, can we survive? I mean, based upon your past experience, can you share like even the non-IT, how the non-IT people are doing here?
Okay. See, if the IT, so what IT guys have the advantage is they know the software terminology like developers, testers, support engineers, management, team leaders, and they know that environment. But when it comes to technology, everyone is same. Every human is same while learning technology. Even IT guys, they'll learn Linux commands. Non-IT guys, you learn same. But if you focus, you need to spend more efforts compared to IT guys, because this is new to you, right?
Yeah.
And so mostly what is happening in IT is someone will develop, someone will deploy, someone will test, someone will support continuously for 24/7 monitoring. So these terminology you need to understand. That's it. There is no learning, there is no practicing on this terminology. It comes by default. Okay.
Yeah.
So in interviews, they will not ask you, right? So they will not ask you about this IT environment. All they ask you about, so tell me about yourself, what you did in your DevOps project. So the same thing, whatever we are practicing here, we have the applications developed. The RoboShop is already developed and kept it in GitHub, right? So similarly, there will be some application developed in real time. You need to set up a DevOps and cloud for it. So no one will ask you about what is happening outside of DevOps to you. Mostly they will not. So once you get into the company, you will know these things by default. You don't need to worry about those things. So just understand one thing, you need to spend more efforts.
Yeah, that's fine.
all.
And one more thing, will they consider the educational qualification for this, like during the interview process?
You should have valid degree. That's all. They don't see. I'm from electronics.
Okay.
I'm still working as software. Someone is from B Pharmacy. I know they are working in software, chemical engineering, and any valid degree.
Yeah.
With some experience. That's it.
Yeah, that's fine. Thank you.
Thank you. Ayo, you have some question? Can you?
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Thank you for the presentation. My question is, if I'm going to put about 3 to 5 years of experience on my resume for DevOps, so what is your advice before that experience, before that 3 to 5 years? What is the best experience to put in there that I transitioned into a DevOps?
Okay, so when you put 3 to 5 years of experience, so obviously our training is doing things from basic to advanced, right? So this is like our training is like we got a project in DevOps. We all recruited you as DevOps engineers, and we are telling you how to configure a project from the scratch. Suppose you join a company, there is already a DevOps team, and they will tell you we are all doing, they will give you some knowledge transfer about what they have been doing, what are your daily roles and responsibilities. Mostly 90% are same whatever you are learning in this training. So there also will be dev and QA and production environment. You have a pipelines for them. You have a tools. You have they will give you credentials. They will give you authentication, authorization, everything. Then someone developer will ask you, I am facing some problem in this pipeline. Then you go to that pipeline, you see the error they are facing. Then you will try to clear the error by changing some pipeline code. And if someone is asking to provide, for example, a new project is set up in your company, then they will ask you to to write a Terraform code to set up the infrastructure. So you will write ALB, EC2 servers, Route 53, S3, all these things you will write through your Terraform configuration. So these things will happen. So same thing, whatever you are learning, just imagine. So imagination is very important here. Like in physics, we don't know how exactly they work, but we imagine, right? In physics while you are learning. Same thing, when you are learning DevOps, imagine you are working for a development, you are working for a project and you are doing all these things. If you are facing some errors in your pipeline while practicing, then again imagine that error is reported by the developer. Now you need to solve the error. That error may be a silly error. Sometimes a silly mistake can cause you 2 or 3 hours, right? That's a common thing in IT. Even I face that. So all these problems you need to imagine. Even you are facing the error while creating or practicing, that imagine that is reported by the developer or other team.
Okay, so yeah, I get that. Thanks for that. But my main question was, okay, for example, if I put on my resume that I have 5 years of DevOps experience,
okay,
that's 2018 to 2023. But my thing is, what do you advise I put on my resume before 2018? I put something like Linux system admin, network engineer, to show that I transitioned, into DevOps.
Yes. Something similar to DevOps was, before DevOps, there was something called build and release engineering. Okay. We were not calling it as DevOps. We were doing the things in a manual way. We don't have cloud environment at that time. Now, if you see in our training, the 3-tier architecture RoboShop, we configured it manually, right?
Yeah.
So without DevOps, we configured it manually. So that's what happening before DevOps. So you can say you are working as a build and release engineer. Then DevOps concept was getting popular in the market. So then slowly you migrated from build and release to the DevOps. Before you are not writing pipelines, you are doing everything in a manual way. Now you upgrade to the fully automated way. That is one, build and release, or you can say Linux administration, or you can say L2 support. Okay, or you can say manual testing. So manual testing don't need any special skills. So you can say I was working in manual testing, then I learned DevOps, I upgraded to DevOps. That's all.
Oh, thank you for that.
Yeah. Sureka, you have some question?
Yeah, Shiva. Hello.
Okay. Yes, please.
Yeah, actually, my doubt is we are going to learn about all this stuff here in this training, right? So when the person asks us, how do you know all this stuff? Because normally the people works on only few things or few sides.
Okay.
Like that.
So you are working as a DevOps team member in a team. So for any technology, the thing we expect from a team is you should understand what other person is doing at least. Or there is no limit. You can learn by yourself, right? If they ask you how you learned all these things in 3 years, that's definitely a positive comment to you, right?
Okay.
So you can say easily, I learned personally, or I am observing. I'm very active in my team. So I'm just discussing every day with my teammates what they are doing, how they are doing. Because whenever they are in a leave, whenever they are in emergency leave, someone should be their backup, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. The simple answer.
So we have to portray them like we worked at particular we worked particularly on something, right?
Yeah, you can say like pipelines. Pipelines is where everybody should know, right? So if they ask you something, if you don't know, then you can say, I know this concept, but I haven't done it in a practical way. My other team members are doing it. See, in an interview, they don't expect you 100%.
Yeah.
So they at least expect you 60% or 50%. Remaining first 50%, you should give them a confidence like you can learn and do it. So no one knows 100%. So that's why we have a team. So someone knows something better, someone knows other things better, or if they give you suddenly a new thing, then you need to learn and do it. That's all.
Okay. And one more thing is, you said that you will provide something, interview questions like that.
Yeah.
And then how can we portray what we learn also, right?
Yes, see, whatever we are learning, the same thing they will ask in an interview. So they should get a feel, right? You didn't prepare exclusively for interview. You are already doing this.
Yeah.
You don't tell question and answer type. You can say in a general way what you are doing in your project. So that's what everyone will expect. They don't expect you to read the answer from internet, because you can find a lot of interview questions in internet. Don't read them in a way what they have written there. Just give the answer in a way like you practiced it, you did it.
Okay. Okay, Shiva. Thank you.
Thank you. Brahma Reddy, you have some question?
Yeah, thanks to you for this opportunity.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have a few doubts. I'm currently working in L2 support for earlier also.
Yeah.
Like a few applications I already worked in the website, but here L2 only. What
Yeah,
I can
okay.
do for this going forward for preparing resume? Can I put this project details or not required?
You can put your existing project. You just say I worked as DevOps engineer in my current project. That's all.
Yeah, in my total experience, I can put 3 to 4, or remaining I can say like this, I'm working this project.
Yes, so your latest 3 experience, you say you are working as DevOps engineer. Before that, L2 support.
Yeah, currently the DevOps Priority is there, but we are giving L2 support only.
Yeah, you learn, you practice our training completely. Then you put latest 3 years as DevOps and previous L2 support. That's all.
Yeah. One more question. I missed some sessions. I go through the videos, no problem. Is there opportunity start joining other batches?
Yeah, you can join upcoming batch. No problem.
Is there any process, or directly can I?
No, just inform me. Just inform me. That's all.
Thanks. That's
okay.
it. I will come to you any other issues.
Yeah. Paratisham, you have some question? You can unmute.
I was waiting for a very long time.
Yes, I saw that last. Yeah. Please.
Siva, actually, I have 14 years of experience in IT, where I have worked in release build deployment activities.
Yeah.
I have handled from dev to the production, end-to-end every activity. Okay.
Yes.
But due to some personal reasons, I got gap before the Corona lockdown. I mean, my visa issues was there in Singapore, so I came back to India. At that time, some family issues and this lockdown, everything has taken, almost took like 3 years away. So from then I'm trying to re-enter into the IT field, but this time I want to go on the automation side. That is the reason I am doing the DevOps automation activity. Okay.
Yeah.
But when I'm saying I have a gap, nobody is ready to give me an opportunity. Do I need to keep a fake for this gap, or if I keep the fake, my entire experience is on banking sector side. So mostly I'll be getting the calls on the banking side where there will be a very high-end background verification. There are chances that my background verification may fail, even though I keep it.
Okay. So DevOps is a technology, right? Even you work for banking project, retail project, telecom, energy. So the way we are doing is same. We don't have a separate way for banking applications. Okay. But in Singapore, obviously they have the entire Singapore is based on financial thing. So maybe from Singapore you are getting finance, but in India, unfortunately in India we have a lot of population. So compared to the jobs, population is very high, competition is very high. So that's why they have here background check. But in other countries like Singapore, in US and Dubai, they don't have background verification at all. So definitely it's a hard here to cross that stage. So you need that's a general thing, right? We can discuss again. So you need to go some other way. Okay.
Okay. And other thing in Singapore, when I say the Jenkins, right? Everybody is asking about the Groovy scripting, but actually in the Jenkins that here they have covered, they haven't covered properly the Groovy part actually. They have only given the basic thing, which I almost like I have attended close to 20 interviews in Singapore. Out of them, close to 14 interviews, they are only concentrating on the Groovy scripting. If I say I haven't done on the Groovy, they are rejecting straight away.
So you should not say you haven't done anything on
I
Groovy.
am telling them I have done using the DSL, that declarative syntax part, but nobody is ready to agree on that. They want the Groovy scripting only regarding the Jenkins pipelines.
Okay. So even Jenkins pipeline, Groovy is the backend, but first thing the point should start from declarative way. So declarative will trigger the Groovy in background. Okay. So for example, if I show you.
Without the declarative also, we can use the Groovy, right? Complete Groovy scripting.
Yeah, without declarative, no, but the trigger should be from either declarative or scripted pipeline. I'll just show you. Suppose these are Groovy pipelines. So this is all Groovy. So this is a pipeline. This is a pipeline.
Okay.
An agent and options, stages. So this is like a declarative syntax only, right? So in
Yes.
Jenkins, we mix Groovy and declarative. So nothing difficult here. These are the Jenkins pipelines. Let me come back. So this is the Groovy. This will work as a utility. So trigger will come from pipeline like here, okay, and it will call something in this file. This is a Groovy, something simple like a function. Okay, anyhow, I will try to address this. So this session is not to discuss too much technical things.
Yeah,
okay?
yeah, I understand.
I'll come back.
At
Yeah,
least
I'll come back to you.
guide me
I'll
like,
speak with you separately, because since you are attending interviews directly in Singapore, so that is a closed market. Singapore is a closed market, very simple market, like very less jobs, right, compared to India. So they may be scrutinizing you because they will filter a lot. If you try in
But
India, definitely you will get job easily. If you try
in
in
India,
US,
the major problem what is happening is like when I mention my resume, right? If it is 10 plus, first question they are asking why you are not on the managerial side. Even though I'm telling that I'm interested on the technical side, people are first question they are asking is like why you are not on managerial side, why you are still in the technical one.
that's actually a general problem. It's not it's not only for DevOps, right? Even you learn any other technology.
Yeah, yeah.
Same question they may ask.
I understand that one.
But you
right
need to
now,
tell us you are working as a technical manager. The management is this is the old concept. People should work on management. Somebody should work on technical. But nowadays, management should also come from technical background. Management that's a old thing. Even in Singapore, manager also should know the technical things. Otherwise, how can they deal a team?
what are the additional things that we need to learn about the managerial side that to say that I have worked as a manager?
That those skills you have learned very well in your experience of 12-14 years.
You understand, right? In the release management, we don't really, we work with all the teams, but we never work as a managerial side in the release management. Even though I have 14 years of experience, nowhere our designation is like a manager or the TL. All our team members are the release management. That's it.
Okay. So anyhow, this is your personal problem. We can discuss later. Okay.
Okay. Sure.
Yeah, Giri, you have some question. Final. You are the final guy.
Hi, Siva.
Yeah, hi.
Can we get any opportunities combination of Java plus DevOps?
Java plus DevOps. Are you a Java developer?
Yes. I have around 6 years experience. Can we put 3 plus 3 means 3 years Java, 3 years DevOps like that?
No, you can say it's based on your comfort. So you can say you are setting your own DevOps pipeline, working as Java developer. If you want to come to DevOps completely, you can say first I had a Java experience, then DevOps. I myself was Java developer. So that is a good advantage to you because you know the developer mindset, you know the developer requirements. So you can do it very well.
Yeah, I know end-to-end flow.
Yeah, that's good. There is no doubt actually.
Yeah, and one doubt, DevOps engineer and cloud engineer is similar.
See, cloud, basically DevOps guy should know the cloud and cloud guy should know the DevOps.
Okay. Means my friends are working as a DevOps, but their role is cloud engineer. That's why I have doubt.
Yeah, it's okay. So like I can say DevOps and cloud are wheels to a bicycle. Only knowing DevOps, if you don't have any knowledge in cloud, you are not preferred. Knowing cloud, if you don't have any knowledge in DevOps, you are not preferred.
And certifications are advantage, right? AWS or some Azure.
Certifications are definitely, if you have 0 certification, then if you have 2 or 3 certifications, something advantage, right?
Yeah. Yeah, okay, Sivan, that was our
Yeah,
thank you.
So that's all for today's session. Thanks for joining. I'll share the recording. I'll upload to YouTube and then I'll send to you all. You can refer again. So my sincere advice, you practice daily, focus, practice minimum 4 hours, and you can go to up to 12 hours. Just 90% efforts are from your side, 10% efforts are from our side to guide you and to teach you well. Okay. That's all for today's session. Thanks so much. See you in next session. I will inform you about next sessions.